We started with a pasuk like this: Ki tavo ha'aretz, when you're going to come into the land, asher ani noten lechem v'shavasa ha'aretz, Shabbos l'Hashem. You should have a Shabbos on the land. Shvius, din Shvius. Din Shvius, it says here, Bahar Sinai. All the Rishonim are asking, well, what's the connection between, why, right, exactly, why you have to have Shemitah and mention Har Sinai with Shemitah. Rabbi Yerucham brings the Rashi. The Rashi says, what does it say here with Shabbos LaHashem? What's special? Why does it have to say Shabbos Hashem? So Rashi says, L'Shem Hashem, Ki Shem Shene'emar b'Shabbos Bereshis. Just like it said that Shabbos is Shaykh, I assume it means Zecher Ma'aseh Bereshis. Also that the Shvius should be L'Shem Hashem, which means people should say, you see there's Hashem. From here we're going to see that there's Hashem. Rabbi Yerucham brings the Ramban and he asks the Rashi, he says, I don't understand. He says the Chagim are also L'Shem Hashem. I assume we're talking about an oath. It's an oath. People see, this is for Hashem. It's L'Shem Hashem. So he doesn't like Rashi's answer. Comes along Rabbi Yerucham. He doesn't go in the line of the Rambam. He basically uses the Ramban to knock out Rashi, and then he gives him a space to say what he wants to say. What does he want to say L'Shem Hashem means? So he brings the Ravid down that you should know that you have a master upon you. Not just even though what you have, I mean that you don't have a master upon you, because it says Hashem gave the land to us. Hey, brought us into the world. Look, where we can go out, we build roads, we build houses, and we can do all these things. It's a free world out there. And it says Kol Shasa Takas Raglav. Everything is under the feet of man. So the world was given over to man. So since man might come to make a mistake, and unfortunately he does, that he thinks, well, now I can do whatever I want. To remove the idea, Hashem gave us these mitzvahs. He brings a list of mitzvahs and explains how each mitzvah shows that takes away that feeling that man has. This is mine. My table, my house, my food, my body, even my body, he wants to say. Watch, listen up. He says, the guy has a sada. So, wait a second. This is my field, I can do whatever I want. No. When you plow, you can't have climb, you can't have a mixture between the animals. You have to do it like that. When you bring zera, you also can't mix different seeds together. You also have a problem with climb. And when you have to leave the payas of the field, you have to leave over the field. You have to leave for the anim, you have to have shikha, lechak, all these different mitzvahs that you have by the field. Well, okay, maybe the field is not exactly mine. I have to admit there that Hashem is also around. Okay, and then you bring the food into the house. Okay, and then you have to bring truma. I have to be challah by the dough, and even when I eat the food, I have to say a bracha on the food, and I have to say a bracha after the food. Even when I get dressed, or at least let me dress the way that I want to dress. No, you can't dress the way you want either. Those are not your clothes. Where do you think these things came from, Hashem? You're not the bow of everything. You can't wear shatnas, and you have to put on you have to have tzitzits. And even in my animals, I can't mix my animals together. And even my own body, they have to do a milah. So what is mine exactly? So to take away that havamina, that the world belongs to me and I'm the master of the world, Hashem gave us all these different mitzvahs to remove that possibility. Where were we getting that possibility from? Because really Hashem said, I gave you the land. But that doesn't mean that we are the Baal. He wants to say it's like we're a Selcher Yom, a day worker. We're not the master. It's true we can do all these things and it really does belong to us. But let's not forget who the real master is. We can't just do whatever we want. So now we want to explain. What is this word, Shabbos LaHashem? So he wants to say it's exactly this idea. This idea that don't forget the land, the Shvius, the world. It's not the land. The land is your world that I gave to you. It's really for me. Don't think you're the bow. It's really for me. Don't forget who the master is. And therefore what? Adam Kodesh hu b'yom Shabbos. You have to be Kodesh Yom Shabbos. Kula LaHashem. On Shabbos, the person has to be Kula LaHashem. What does that mean? Muvshat makol anochios. Okay, that's heavy. It means you have to get rid of yourself. On Shabbos, the person is supposed to remove his ego, himself, me, what I want. On Shabbos, the person realizes that he has to realize this is an Eved Hashem. You have a master above you. And it's not my koach, it's not my power that's doing everything. And he brings the Torah's Kahanim. Medami Shvius l'Shabbos. The Torah Kahanim said that Shvius and Shabbos are the same idea. Shava b'neihem. Why? Shteyim inyim bittul bailis la'esek adam. That both of them remove the bailis. Just because on Shabbos you remove your bailis, that you're not the master, also Shvius removes your bailis, that you're not the master. Kol kulusha adam kodeshu. And that's what he wants to say here. Pashit is Shabbos LaHashem. So that was all I want to add a point here. That was all in the negative in a certain sense. In other words, don't do these things. But in the positive, how do we now show that we're an Eved Hashem? What is Shabbos and Shvius? Shabbos and Shvius, Eino Chenomi. I took away the bodies. Okay, it's not mine, and I sit back and I say everything's Hashem. What do I do in the positive? So Min Shemaim, I found this Tana de Eliyahu. So look, but this is unbelievable. You got to hear this. Look at this, Mamish. He says Hashem in his Chokmah saw when he built the world. So after he built man, he laid him down in front of him, and he looked forward. What's going to come out of this man? And he said, "Oh my boy, I see these people are going to aggravate me." This is what I'm saying. He says, "Listen, what's going to come out of this man?" So he says, "They're going to aggravate me. They're not going to listen to me. They're going to do all the wrong things, and they're going to be who knows what they're going to be doing. They're going to aggravate me." So what did he say? He says, "Wait a second. If I from the it's a midrash, obviously. Hashem is thinking, if I have in my mind from the beginning that I created man, if I look at man from the beginning until the end, oy vavoy, I better do something about it. I better break it up into pieces. And if I break it up into pieces, it won't be so bad." So what did Hashem do in order to break it up? Eino olam haba. I have to find a system, a way, a mechanism that I don't look at the whole thing. It's like your kid. He does one thing bad, next thing bad, next thing bad. Okay. If he continues like that, if you look at the whole thing, you're going to get really mad at him. But all of a sudden in the middle, he says, "Oh, Abba, I love you," and he does something cute, and he does okay. And then you forgot. So that's exactly what he says. He says the teva of man is a good day is a good day, and on your good days you forgot the bad days, and on the bad days you forget your good days. In other words, that's the teva of man, and that's what Hashem did for himself. So he says here, what are we supposed to do on Shabbos? That's why he said, unbelievable thing he says here. He says, Zeh Yom Shabbos Yisrael. Tetzad, Adam Osei Malach. Hashem, man does work all week. And he has to deal with all these people, and he has to deal with his enemies. On Shabbos, he sits back. Lo Ketiv Lechem B'Torah. See, isn't that written in my Torah? Lo Yemush B'Sefer Torah is them Picha. You shouldn't remove this from your mouth. You shouldn't remove the Torah from your mouth. Even though you're busy and doing all kinds of things all 6 days of the week. Shabbos Yaseh Kulo Torah. The Shabbos should be Kulo Torah, and that's the thing that's gonna appease Hashem. Look what he says here. You got to see. Maybe I'll just skip over this here. What? Lefi she'ein lo menucha lakadosh baruch hu ela im oseh b'Torah bilvad. Wow. Hashem does not get any pleasure, menucha, from man, except when he's osek b'Torah. So Hashem made the Shabbos in order that it should be osik in Torah, in order that Hashem should get the pleasure, in order that Hashem should forget. I said, look at my Jewish people. You see them? They're osik in Torah. During the week, okay, it's true, they did all these things, and who knows what they were doing, affairs and all these different things. But when Hashem sees the Jewish people on Shabbos, osik in Torah, at that point, he forgets all the bad things that happen, and he's happy, and the world continues. So we can now explain that. You can add that idea to Shvius. Beis Yisrael says that Shemitah is like Shabbos. Why? That's the Har Sinai. The answer to that original question in the Rishonim, maybe you'll say it's a little bit of a drush, but maybe you'll say, why is Shvius and Har Sinai together? Because Shvius is a time where the whole year we can learn Torah. We're free to learn Torah. So they put it with, why is Shvius mentioned Har Sinai? The Torah and the Shvius go together. They're partners. As long as I don't have to work, as long as I'm sitting back so that I can sit and learn. So the same thing, Shabbos, Shvius are all times for learning Torah. The famous thing, how can I not talk about this? It's a double parsha. How can I not talk about this? The famous Rashi. If you'll go in my laws, telechu, that's most mitzvahs side tishmar, and you'll show me my mitzvahs, so then you're going to get all the blessings, right? You have all the list of blessings, and God forbid, lo aleinu. I don't know if you read the second half of this parsha. If you don't do this thing, you're going to get all the curses. What is it? Rashi says. Rashi proves to you it must be a melis b'toyer. Why? Because it says you guys know this stuff. Because it's mitzvah side tishmaru. It can't be talking about mitzvahs. It must be talking about something else. Because it just says if you show me my mitzvahs, it must be the chukasai telechu is talking about a melis b'toyer. Working hard and learning. So look at this. Why does it say, how do you know that it's Amelis B'Torah, but that it's talking about Talechu? So the Torah's Kahanim says Talechu, just like when you learn, it's like you're traveling. We're traveling through the Gemara. You read the Rishonim and the Achronim, you go to Shlav, you go to Havamid or Maskana. It's like in your mind, you're traveling, you're going level and level. So that's only through Amelis B'Torah. Only through Amelis B'Torah does a person travel. And that's where the blessings are going to come. And it's the Amelis B'Torah, and that's what Shabbos, and that's what Shvius, and that's where Hashem like we saw it, like we said. Lefi she'ein lo menucha lakadosh baruch hu ein osei Torah bilvad. Baruch Hashem, as we sit in Yeshiva, we can be osei in Torah, not only Shvius and not only Shabbos. We can be osei in Torah. Hashem is getting menucha from us, is getting pleasure from every move we make. We have to realize the value, and it's unbelievable to think that really, according to this Rashi, all the blessings and all the curses are talui on whether we're amelis b'toyre. That's a big responsibility, and we have to realize the value of that. What does that mean? That means Erev Shabbos. That means night kolel. It means Motzi Shabbos. All the times that we dray around and we ding. Don't think if we really would push in those times, we'll have tremendous bracha.